Sample my STEEZ going on. Yes, Lord. Bringing you the game review for the final game of round 6, that being Hawthorn Hawks versus the Geelong Cats. Coming into this game, I was thinking that this game could be in either team's hands, considering I do respect how both teams go about it and how they've been playing this season. I do think they're both probably in the top six teams in AFL right now in the league. And also given the history that they have, traditional rivals. They say in footy, no matter where you're at on the ladder, regardless, when it's a rivalry match, a lot of times that it doesn't really reflect the ladder positioning. So I did expect a pretty good game, and to some degree it was. There was a lot in this game. There was really a lot to be said about this game. Just so much extracurricular stuff, activity, and really uncharacteristic like play, I would say. I think the theme of this game. So if you didn't know, Geelong ended up winning this game, and the theme of this game to me was just the Hawks' woeful kicking, and you can't really express that enough, bro. They had a terrible kicking night. Just multiple on the fulls. They couldn't find targets. It was just turnover after turnover after turnover. And especially James Sicily, bro. I don't know what bro had going on, but this is probably one of the worst games I've seen from an AFL player of his caliber, for somebody who's touted so highly and one of the better players in the competition, just to see how he was just completely butchering the footy. He was dropping marks. I don't know if it's a confidence thing or whatever it was, bro, but he needs to go ahead and shake that problem now, because it was terrible, man. He ended up getting a goal, and it really took a major mistake from Tom Stewart, who really ran right under the footy when the ball entered the Hawks' forward half. This was when the Hawks were making a comeback. They were getting smashed in the beginning of the game, but the Hawks ended up mounting a comeback toward the end of the game, and Tom Stewart ran under the footy, and the ball spilled out the back, and James Sicily just was lucky enough to be there to be able to get a goal. But other than that, I just seen him hit like one target, bro. And other than that, it was just completely butchering the footy. Jack Gunston had some shocking kicks that were just misses. Nick Watson, when the game was in balance, ducked for his free kick or whatever, like you know how you do. He had a free kick, he just missed it completely, bro. It was a lot for the Hawks. I will say they gave themselves a lot of chances. In the beginning of the game, Geelong really was just, in the beginning of the game, it was high center-bound scoring, whether there was goals or not. There was scores being coming from the center, and I don't think that really happens too much in the AFL, but it is entertaining when you do see it happen. And Geelong really was up, bro. Geelong was playing their consistent footy and capitalizing off the turnovers that the Hawks were having, bro. Hawks were missing handballs and fumbling, and they just couldn't get a proper handle on the footy, which was pretty bad considering how good that they look whenever they had. When the Hawks are at their best, they're playing hawk ball, if you will. They find targets easily, and they just go from one end to the other. But this was not really happening the way that you expected to see. And Geelong was really making them pay every time. Really in the second half, well, not the second half, but the second quarter was when you seen the Hawks play a little bit better. They were winning the clearances and were able to wrestle back into the game. But there was a lot of extracurricular activity as well, just the manual falcon. I like that term. I seen somebody refer to Bailey Smith hitting. He had the ball, and I don't want to say smashed, because it's kind of more aggressive word than what the behavior really entailed, but he had the footy and hit Jarman Impey in the head with it, and Jarman Impey did a bunch of staging, falling like he was playing soccer or something. But Bailey Smith's in his villain art, man. It's I can't say I'm not entertained by it, man. He's got into it with the Hawks fans. He's got into it with the Adelaide fans and gather around, and he does it on his own accord, whether he's standing up for a skipper like in Adelaide or whether he just gets carried away. It's the second time I've seen him address something that he's done. He was like, I probably shouldn't have done that, but he seems to not change his behavior. He just not quite, I guess, embracing the villain arc, because if he's got to apologize for it, you're not really embracing it, but he's stepping into it. So that's very entertaining. He played a great game as well. I think Geelong's midfield just was pretty good, man. Max Holmes continuing to have a great season. Bailey Smith, Tom Atkins. I feel like I say the same players every time. Dangerfield still proving me wrong with his set shot ability as far as goal kicking accuracy. I didn't really rate him, but he seems to make it. But yeah, although Gunston as well from the Hawks, he was missed some shots, but he put them boys on the board. Cho wasn't too bad, but it was just the fact that they kept going and they had the opportunities and they just did not capitalize on it, bro. And that's really what ended up shooting the Hawks in the foot. Also, another thing, extracurricular activity that happened was Connor Nash. Really dirty play, bush league play. I don't really respect that at all. He open arm, pretty much clotheslined Brian Myers and had him. He was literally knocked out on the court, on the field, and got carried out. He had the wobbly leg, the noodle leg, and he definitely had a concussion, man. So he probably will be out next week. And I seen people in talks of Connor Nash being out for a whole month for that, which I'm not opposed to it because there's no place in the game for that, man. But yeah, this was definitely one of the weirdest games that I've watched. Probably the most entertaining bad game that I've seen since my time of watching footy. It was bad, bro. It was bad. And the Hawks in the fourth quarter really just seemed to do whatever they could to not win the game, is what it seemed like. But I don't think that the kicking inaccuracy that they had all season, all game, I don't think that's really their character. I don't think that's really a focal point of the club, so I think that they'll be good going forward. I don't know if it was just weather conditioning. I think they were saying it was a little windy over there with rain approaching and wind approaching and stuff like that, but I don't know. Geelong did enough to get it done. So Hawks, you're on the watch, man. You dropped a couple games. You seem to get behind early. You're trying to create a Brisbane reputation out of yourself, I guess, because you start off slow and you're forcing yourself to come back in situations, but you can't quite do it as effective as Brisbane, man. But, hey, this game was entertaining, though. I'll say that. So that's the last game of round 6. Look forward to the quarterly review that I have coming out at the end of this week. Well, in a day or two, to round out, to really pretty much recap the first 6 weeks, first 6 rounds of the AFL 2025 season. Going through and looking through the ladder and pretty much explaining why I think each team lands in their respective position on the ladder. And yeah, man, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube shit. Appreciate your continual support. Yeah, stay tuned, man. We ain't done yet with footy, man. We still got 3/4 of the way to go, so stay tuned.